Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. This is part 2 of Magic Wand Shop, and today we're going to be working on this section of the wand shop. So last time in part 1 we finished making the cart. So and this one should be a little bit easier because we've already done these wand boxes. So we still have to make all these ones and some books, a portrait, a little potion bottle. I think we're going to be making another wand, which that was fun last time. Some of the drawers for the wand boxes, and then finally the cabinet where everything's going to be sitting on. So let's get into it. So we're going to be starting with the wand boxes. So if you remember in the last video when we made these wand boxes, we took 2 pieces of wood. So in this instruction for the first part, we're going to be doing B61 wood pieces, and then we're going to be taking A112, sorry. So these 2 stickers, and putting it on top of our pieces of wood, and then taking the ends and then putting them on the back. So I'm going to take my wood glue, and I find it's really easier to put it on a little bit on the end of like a toothpick or a popsicle stick to spread it around so you're not making a mess everywhere. And I'm doing it on the side with the number so that it hides that part. And that as best as you can. And then with a piece of paper towel, I'm just gonna wipe away the excess glue. And that's our first wand box. Okay, now for the stickers. I find it's really easier if you use a pair of tweezers. So I'm just gonna fold the corner like so. And then I'm gonna try and align it as best as I can. And I just noticed that they have another Voldemort wand. So now I'm wondering if that's actually Voldemort's wand or if they made a mistake and made 2, because that'd be interesting. Now these pieces are a lot harder because they are small. I'm putting at the back end of the wand. Oh jeez. There you go. Okay, so I finished making all the wand boxes, as you can see here. I thought it was really funny that these ones says library cards and reading, and then when you look at them, it says, I'm sure you can kind of see it, it says gillyweed and flu powder. And then these ones are all Thunderbird tail feather, but they have different designs. And then I noticed that some of them, like, you can't even read what it says on the back. But this one says living. What the heck? Did they kill a Thunderbird just for the tail feather on the other ones and then this had this one living and just took it? Like, what's going on here? I want to know. Anyways, so the next bit that we're going to do, I'm going to put these aside for now. And we're going to be making the books up here. So I already got the pieces of wood, so we need a B80 and B22. And we're going to need the sticker A131 and, can't really see it, A130 up here. Okay, and then in the picture, it shows it sitting like that. So I'm gonna glue that together like that, and then I'll set it aside, and then we'll be ready for the next step. Okay, so once the books are done, and now they're glued and I set them aside, now we're gonna work on the picture frame. Now, that looks awfully, like, fairly normal size for a miniature. It is actually really small. Look how small this is. And I got the piece of paper to go with it, so I'm gonna take my tweezers, which I have here. I would highly recommend investing in some of these because you won't be able to do that with just your fingers. I'm just moving my camera around here. So let's glue these together somehow. So what I plan on doing is putting the glue around the piece of paper. Like that. And then I'm going to take this piece and try and get that as perfectly aligned as I possibly can. Hopefully I don't glue the piece of paper down to my desk because that would be unfortunate. And I'll let that sit for a little bit and we'll come back. So now we are going to be making the big magic bottle number 2. So if I remember from last time, I had such a hard time getting these pieces together that I'm going to do these off camera before I start swearing on. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take your bead, and then you're going to glue this on top. Like so. So if I try and like lay it down, it's just gonna roll everywhere and I will be very upset. So I'm gonna have to hold it together like that. And then after that, I'm gonna have to glue this piece, and then it's not gonna be like a hat. It's gonna be on the other side. So it's like that. And that's gonna take me a little bit to glue that on. So wish me good luck. So I have finished making the little magic potion bottle here. And if you notice that this top is a lot smaller than what I shown previously, that's because it is. I had the wrong piece. So I'm glad I caught that before I glued that on top. So now we're going to be moving on to the next step, which is we're going to be building another wand. So here we needed a thin white wire. So I already did these steps just to kind of cut on time. And when it says to like measure and cut, so like here it says 2.2 centimeters, this is up to scale, so it should be a lot easier. I'll show you here. So I already did this piece right here, and that should be up to scale. So next is that we're just gonna wrap this pre-cut gold and silver foil around this piece, and you want to do it the silver side up. And then after, we're going to be gluing these pieces on the end. So I'll see you in a little bit. And this is the wand. I think I did pretty good. You really have to apply, when it says apply pressure, you really have to apply pressure to get the pattern on the foil. Otherwise it just looks like a mess. But I think I did pretty good. And then the next step was to take B83 piece of wood and A122 and stick it together. And then afterwards we're going to be gluing this on here. Like so. Okay, so now that that wand is done, now we're going to be taking this piece of wood and we're going to be sticking a bunch of stickers onto it. So all of these stickers according to what's on the instructions. So I'm going to do that, and I'll probably fast forward this to make it a little bit quicker because these stickers are super tiny. So I'm going to try and use my tweezers to get these out. I'm not sure if there's like a specific order to these. So I got the first set of stickers on, as you can see here, and it was ridiculously hard. The stickers kept breaking on the piece of paper, as you can see, and I had to kind of glue some back together. It was not easy. So now I'm going to move on and do these ones, and hopefully they're not as bad, but they're just as small. So hopefully they won't give me a hard time. So let's try this first one. I'm trying to go below the paper so that it doesn't rip on me like it did on the other ones. I'm trying to gently lift it and just gently peel it out. I think that wasn't too bad. And there, our perfectly labeled drawers. Okay, so now we're finally going to be making the bookshelf for all the wands. So we're going to be taking this piece of cardboard and we're going to be gluing all these wooden pieces onto it. And it kind of tells you like exactly where all the wooden pieces are going to go. And I just want to point out, I love how they have the Harry Potter series at the bottom here. Like, that's really cool. I love finding these little like secrets from the or Easter eggs, sorry, from the Harry Potter series. So that's really cool. Anyways, I'm gonna get these glued all together and hopefully it looks like the picture. Okay, so I just finished building the bookshelf. Well, not completely, but mostly putting it together, and I absolutely love these crooked shelves, and then this one's straight, and then the Harry Potter books in the background, though they kind of messed up and Harry Potter is backwards, but that's alright. I can live. And so I think for the next steps, we're going to be building the bottom of the bookshelf. So, or I shouldn't say bookshelf, it's the wand shelf with books on it. And so we're going to be putting this piece on the bottom and then putting, I got like 3 of these pieces. So they're going to act as like legs. So we're going to be gluing them on kind of like that. And then up here, we're going to be gluing it like that. So it gives it a little bit more of a decorative, more feel of a bookshelf. So yeah. So give me a few minutes and I'll get those glued together. Okay, so I've glued those pieces on. So as you can see, I've got this piece and this piece. And yeah, you can kind of see the glue that I had a little mishap there at the bottom, but I kind of find it looks like spider web, so I'm gonna just leave that there. I'll try and clean it up a little bit later once it's dried a little bit more. So next step is we're gonna be creating some more stuff for the shelves. So we're gonna be making an envelope A128, so I've already folded it and glued it together. And then next we're going to be taking some scrolls, A121, so I already cut it in half and I did the first one. So if you remember my first video, when I did the scroll, it was awful. Well, I figured out a way to do it, and it's a lot easier than using the awl, because I find, well, mine is very thick, so I think that's why I was having a hard time. So what I found is that if I just fold the end a little bit and then just kind of use my fingers to slowly just roll it. I'm trying not to squish it at the same time. It makes for a better scroll. And I can understand why you would want to use like something to kind of hold it together so that it doesn't squish. But this is probably the easiest way to do it if you're having a hard time like I am. And then right before I close it, I'm going to put a little bit of glue here just so it'll stay together. So yeah, so I'm just going to hold that together for a little bit to make sure it sticks. And then we'll move on to the next step, which I believe is we're going to be putting on the knobs for the drawers here. Okay, so as I said, that after I got that scroll done, we're going to be putting on the knobs for the drawers here. So the knobs look like this piece, and it has a little bit of a little nub on the back of it. So we're going to glue those on. Okay, I'm going to try putting a dot where I think the knob should go. And then hopefully that will stay in place. I think that's there. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, I think those are on, so now I'm just going to let those dry before I move on to the next step. Okay, so the buttons are now all dry. So the next step is now we're just going to be adding everything that we've created so far onto the shelves. So the first one that we're going to add is the stack of books. And we're gonna glue it on. Just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back here. And we're gonna place it like that. And then next we are going to be placing the picture frame on top of it, along with A129, which is already folded, and A120. And we're also going to be putting in A126 newspaper, so I've already folded it too. So we're going to start with the newspaper, and that is going to go, I believe, on like that. Woo! Earthquake! I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here. Okay, so I'm back. I had a really hard time with the picture frame, getting it where I wanted it. And then I just decided to just put everything on the bottom shelf together. So as you can see, we've got our wand and our letter and our scrolls and potion all set up. So the next step is to put all the wand boxes. Okay, I am back. And I got all the wand boxes together, as you can see. And yeah, that was something. I will say that this box right here, and I'm pointing it with the tweezers because I do not want to touch any of these because I will cry if they fall apart. I accidentally dropped the bookcase a couple of times, and then the wands just went flying everywhere. It was a mess. But anyways, yeah, this box right here, you see it's the green box. Well, in the instructions, it first told me to put a gray box here. That's a lie. I took 10 minutes later because it was saying that I needed a gray box right here. And I was like, what are you talking about? There's no other gray boxes. And then I start counting them. I'm like, I have 5. So where is this mysterious 6th gray box? And then I realized that this changed from a gray to a green. So I don't know what happened. Anyways, if you're following the instructions along with me and you're confused just as much as I am, that's why. So yeah, so this is the end of the video. We have our bookcase and we have our cart. So if you like this video, please give a like and subscribe for more content. And I'll see you in the next one where we're going to be doing the black cabinet. So see you in the next one. Have a super fantastic day and God bless. Bye.